again and welcome. It's me. It's Joy. It's Joy Ruffin coming to you from the Sunshine State, Florida. And I never know whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and maybe to some of you good night, but wherever you are, welcome and all the best always. Tonight it's Wednesday night, so it's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. And tonight our guest is Audrey Arbe. Love that name. And Audrey goes under the heading of Cosmic Healers. We have 5 particular categories that we speak to. We speak to the female trailblazers, the agents of change, the purpose-driven women, and heart-centered leaders and cosmic healers. Some women incorporate all, some women have 1 or 2, some have none, but they're in the process of, and we love that. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see you. And tonight, thank you, Stephen. It's always good to see you. And tonight, our guest, well, you know, me and technology, we had some issues, yet we're just going to plow right on and through it because she has a lot of good information to share with you. And before I bring her over, let me tell you a little bit about Audrey, just a little bit, because I want her to tell you more about her story. Audrey Arbe is a cosmic being. I love that. A mystic intuitive. She is an energy enhancer, a transformational catalyst, and a clairvoyant healer. She's a gifted and accomplished artist, author, seminar leader, speaker, and I could go on and on and on. But don't you want to meet her? Yes, you do. So let me bring her over and let's go from there. And let's say hello and welcome, Audrey. Good to see you. We made it.
Yes, we're here. Thank you so much, Joy.
Audrey, it is exciting and you are most welcome. And you know what? Before we get going, everyone here and those who will come later, they know that technology and I are becoming good friends, but we're in the newbie stage. And that said, I want to applaud because we had every kind of little issue bringing you on and getting the picture right, but now it's ideal and you're sitting and we can see you and we can hear you. So Audrey, I gave them just a wee bit of a teaser about your background, but tell us a little bit more about your background, the work you're doing now and why you love it so much.
Okay, I'm a born mystic intuitive. I'm born that way. I have a certain way of thinking and looking at the world that's innate to me. It's like in New York, it would be at a certain point, this wasn't so respected, the way we used to say it, like that and a token will get you on the subway. But that's a New York thing. I do the work I do because I'm called to it. And I recommend that everybody find what your calling is, get good at it and do it because that's part of why you're here. So as a kid, I used to think that art was amazing and that I used to almost worship creativity. I never thought I was creative. I knew I was intuitive and I knew I was intelligent because that just showed up. The creativity thing I didn't know, and then it just started coming out. I just hadn't known it. So I'm somebody who grows and evolves moment by moment, including what we were going through with the interesting technology stuff. And all my clients know, they'll tell you this. Audrey will tell you she's not the techie woman. Yeah. I have people they do the tech for me. I do the stuff that I do, and I do it, 1, because I love it. 2, I'm blessed to have a gift for what I do. Yes. And 3, my clients thank me.
Well, you know, you and I, Audrey, if I could interject for just a second, we could be twins because I'm not the techie either, and I have other people do it for me, but you learn and you do it the best you can. I want to speak to something that you said, though, because I've heard this said before by other people, and I want to make sure that the audience, those who are here now and those who will come later, understand when you say that you were born to it, tell us a little bit about what that means. What does it mean you were born to it? Because that's a heavy comment to make. And I want you to, as clearly as you can, explain that to the audience. What does that mean?
When I was a kid, and I would see, it's just being with family or with whatever, I would somehow know things about them. I would just know it. And there was no way to explain how do you know it because I knew it. Either that certain things I could feel, That's called clairsentient if you want to have like the different names. Things I would just know, things I would say. And there were times I was asked, how do you know that? How do you explain how do I know that? I know that. And so when I say I'm born to it, or it's because I am, my heart goes in certain ways. As an astrologer, I'm an astrologer and a healer and a clairvoyant. I'm a bunch of stuff. I can see in a chart like what certain people are geared to. And when someone really does what it is that they feel in their heart and in their soul, that's when they'll feel some of the most alive. And that's different than if I can, this is an adult show, right? I could say lovemaking. That's another way to feel alive when you're with that one whom you love and all that, but that's a different aspect. So I'm not referring to that right now. Okay, or birthing a baby, that's just a whole other, and I'm a Cancerian, so that is part of what I'm here for. And I did it. Okay, I have my daughter and grandchildren. And
Wonderful, wonderful.
there are people who come to me because they don't know their purpose. They'll ask me, what's my purpose? And I'll tune in on them and I'll say what I'm shown. I'll give it to them. Or we can do astrology, it shows in another way. And then I help facilitate them to be able to find the way to create that. Because if one's purpose, say, is to communicate, to get information either from the higher realms and give it, it isn't like, okay, boom, snap a finger and blah, you're just doing it. I wish. There's preparation.
Yes. That's what I was going to interject and come in and ask you about, because today, more than ever before, with my limited awareness and knowing, more and more people want to know what is their purpose. That word purpose has been bouncing around for quite a while, but now with technology and everything else, more and more want to know. And what you just alluded to speaks a lot to that. It's not enough just to know what your purpose is. Like anything else, you have to study, master, and become the expert and the influencer at it. So how do you help people to do that? Because I know in addition to the astrology, if I'm correct, you're clairvoyant and you're a mystic intuitive. Tell us a little bit how you support people in that discovery of their purpose and sharing with them the best way to go about actualizing that purpose.
I have several ways. If it's a private client, and I love clients, okay, I just love them.
Yes,
And I can do that
of
on the
course.
phone, I can do it in person, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be shown it. I call the thing tune in. I lift my energy, I lift my frequency. I'm shown things. I can sometimes hear it, see it, feel it, just given it. There's many different ways. And I will tell them because I communicate with them. I verbally communicate with them. And then I ask them questions. Have you this or that? Have you that or this? To get them to kind of look inside.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very interesting with our species. Most people have picked up the faulty thought pattern that they're not good enough and they're
Yes,
not worth. You can find that in what, 98% of people, if not more. So
yes,
we have to get rid of that stuff. Right now, if I might say, I have my very first online course because I realized, talk about leaving legacies.
yes.
I realized I have to reach as big an audience as possible because there's just one of me, okay? And I'm 4'10", so I'm not so big. And energetically, I'm big, okay? So I have my first course called Morph into the Magic of Self-Love, and that's soul, essence, self, and ego, personality, self. And so the people doing it, it's launched now. Yeah. Okay, so the people doing that are really, really guaranteed, have a guarantee to really know who they are on a deeper level and love themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Then they will be more readily able, when they start feeling and seeing their purpose, to actually take the steps.
I love that explanation, Audrey, and it leads me back to the question because I love the title that you gave me, How to Morph into Your Magic Like a Pro. Tell me if I'm on point when I say that when you morph into your magic, that is your purpose, that is your God-given gift, and you need to actualize and master it. Would I be correct in stating it in that way?
Yeah, because if we don't, then I'm going to say, okay, I'm being shown a phrase my daughter used in another context.
Okay.
There could be a person can feel as though they have a hole in their heart
Yes.
because they're not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose doesn't have to be a big, huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people it's a mothering thing. Some people it's shift the world. Some people it's whatever it is. Some people are like really good at mechanics, not me. Okay, but other people, that's what they do. I call that their magic.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
need everyone to have their different magic because those of us that have what I have, we need others who have like technical stuff because how else would we even get on this TV with, I mean, really? Okay. So when someone does what it is that they are, what ends up happening, and this is what people need to know, it
Yes.
gets stronger and stronger and you get better and better. Will there
This
be
is-
challenges? Because some people think there won't be. Well, I have to tell you, yeah, they will.
Yeah, yeah.
So one learns how to handle the challenges.
I think you bring up a very vital point there because somehow many of us were misled, not intentionally, it happened, that once you find your purpose and your magic, that everything becomes, back in the day, the word nobody uses it anymore, hunky dory, that everything would be just blissful and wonderful and fantastic. Well, that's not so. Once you know it, you have to perfect it. You have to work at it. And you just said you have to continually practice, 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 and master it. Is that what you said in a more tactful, eloquent way than I just pronounced to put it?
It's interesting. Yeah, because okay, so I'm a born intuitive. And
Yes,
as I said, that in a token will get you on the subway.
yes,
Although
yes,
now it's a card, that was old. They don't have tokens now, it's a card. If I didn't learn how to use the intuition and I studied, what
yes,
good is if I didn't know how to send energy to help heal? I'm a channel.
yes,
When I say healings come through me, I don't mean me, the person called Audrey. Let me get that real clear. That
yes.
means me, I lift, and the higher self and the, oh, what do I want to call it? The cosmic vibration of healing and light
Mm-hmm,
through me, and it
mm-hmm,
does,
mm-hmm.
and it goes to wherever. If I hadn't learned how to do that, I would be sitting with all this love in my heart, and this was me,
Yes,
not knowing what to do with it. And if one is not using what they've got, they don't feel good inside.
yes, yes, yes. I think, Audrey, that's where you are the channel for the transformation that happens because the vibe and the information and whatever verbiage or terminology you want to use, that's your gift that you in turn channel and impart over to that person who is questing and questioning, is this the right goal for me? Am I on purpose? That's just another way of saying it. Yes?
Yeah, I help people with that, absolutely. Plus, as an energy channel, if they've got, I call the term genetic karmic patterning. I came up with that term almost 20 years ago.
Say that
Now
again.
people say genetic karmic patterning, which
Hmm.
references that when we're born, anybody who's born, we not only get the genetics of our parents, but we get a vibrational energy. It's different and it isn't automatic, by the way. That could be from past lives. It could be from our biological heritage. It could be from any number of things. And if we don't, and this is a vibrational energy, it is not like a physical thing. And if we don't heal that, we keep creating it. I've just discovered there's this relatively, excuse me, new thing talking about PTSD for
Yes, it's not new.
people,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whether
Mm-hmm.
of color or of Judaic background or whatever, from things that happened years back.
Yes.
And I call it genetic karmic patterning, okay? If that doesn't get healed, there, whoever that person could be, you, me, her, him, it, whatever, is going to be operating with that inside, holding them back. That's why I created the course, by the way, because that teaches transformational techniques to deal with that.
This is
And
really,
then
really,
people, yeah, because in my opinion, this is straight up Audrey opinion, if we don't shift our frequency and lift it higher,
mhm.
we're not going to go where we need to go as a species. We'll self-destruct. Because if people are just operating through what I'll call ego, and we're allowed to have ego, but if that's all anyone operates from, then it's never going to work, because that's not what we are. That's just an earth thing. We are pieces of creation. We are the divinity in human form. We are sparkles of light. Now, how many people really know that? It's easy to say the words. I just said them. But how many of us live from that?
Yes. Let me ask you this, because you spoke to quite a few things there. There are so many different schools of thought, and you have to decide which one fits you and works for you best. Now, there is, I don't know quite how to verbalize it to you, but there is that school where they say that each of us beings here on this planet, regardless to your mindset and what you think, that we choose our parents when we come here. Is there any merit in that at all?
I feel there is.
Tell us a little bit about that. I find that fascinating for several reasons. Because of my mom and dad, and it took me a lot of coaches, a lot of psychiatric and psychological coaches to help me to get to me. So I really had to give that a lot of thought when I first heard that we select our parents, because I said, I don't think I would have selected them. But then when I thought about it, it made sense. So speak to that a wee bit, because I found that profound.
I feel that we come here, I've heard the expression that we come here as blank slates. I don't believe that. Okay, we make babies little cute and adorable and all that, but we have karma, we have astrological, these are just ways, these are templates, these are not absolutes. But we have talents and abilities, we don't all have the same ones. And if we're here, so it isn't like, oh my God, look, okay, so we got them from somewhere. I do feel on some level we choose our parents, whether it's in what we'll call the in-between. I'll learn this from you, I'll learn that from you, we can forgive that, we can get through this.
Yes.
Years ago, when a palmist told me, looking at my hand, that I chose my parents, I looked at her like, are you nuts? And I said, no, I said, why would I choose them? And then she looked at me and said something that had me cry.
Yes.
She said to forgive them. She said, that's why you chose them. And I thought, OMG, I'm going to have, well, that was years back. I have not only forgiven them, I love them. They're no longer on the earth. Am I the same as they? Do you get this?
Yes, I do.
And here's something else. May I define forgiveness the way an amazing.
Please do. But before you do that, your explanation when she said the forgiveness, I get that as well. I think it's going to be different for everybody, but I want to piggyback to what you said earlier, that there is that school of thought also that we come here as blank slates. I don't accept that either. I don't believe that. I think we come here with an agenda, a purpose, a plan, and that is it's our job, our responsibility to get to that, and then to give it back out into the universe, whatever. And we could go on and on with that. But now speak to forgiveness, because that's a biggie. That's a real good one.
Okay, so I'm from New York. I now live in Florida. So back in New York, at a certain point, another amazing healer named David Markowitz gave me this definition for forgiveness. Yes. And forgiveness, he said, and again, I'll give my words, is letting go of any negative effects on the self related to anything anyone else, including the self, may have done regarding the self or anything else. It has nothing to do with pardoning someone. And Dr. Michael Rice, R-Y-C-E, also has a similar explanation. So when I teach forgiveness, as I said, I teach a slew of things, including in the Morph course. It's about healing within the self. So for me, forgiveness is also another word for freedom. Because when one gets rid of all that, my technical term is junk, whether you spell it J-U-N-Q-U-E if you want to be fancy, or J-U-N-K, when one really releases, shifts, make peace with, and I'm saying these words as though it's like so simple. It's a process. It isn't just, okay, it's a finger snap. It isn't only a finger snap, it's a process. And can we do it? Yes, we can. Are we meant to? Absolutely. We are meant to be amazing beings, all of us.
Oh, I so believe that. And I have so many mentors and so many people that I hold in high regard. I don't put anybody on a pedestal, but a lot of people that I hold in high regard. And one, you just mentioned a word that he uses. He says it in a different way, but it's the same verbiage, it's the same outlook and mindset. He says that we all have greatness within us. You just spoke to it in different verbiage, but it's the same outlook. And I do believe that. I do believe that wholeheartedly. When people come to you, we might know the answer, but you never know. And I always like to ask, what do the majority of people who come to you, what do they come to you for? Is it to find their purpose or is it something else? Speak a little bit about as much as you can without dwelling into any of their business, so to speak. But why do people come to you pretty much so? I know as a young woman, I scouted all over the universe searching for people like you. So I have a high regard and respect for the work that you do. Yes.
Thank you. People come that there's something that isn't working the way they wanted to in their life. And usually it's a few things. Love, for sure. They want love in their life in a positive way. They want to love themselves. They can think they do. I'll ask a few questions and they'll start saying stuff to healing stuff. Definitely they want to know their purpose. Yes. They have questions about sexuality and that area.
Yes.
They may have questions about finances and how to create it. But primarily, generally, and this is big general, it has to do with love and purpose and their connection to the infinite. And are they on target? What do they have to release, get rid of, all this stuff. And then I tune in, which I'm not going to, and I say what I see, which can blow some of their minds, have to tell you.
Sure.
How do you know that? And I go, that's why they call me a this and that. I mean, that's why they call me that, because I can do that. And it's a gift. And I'm humbled by it. Let me tell you, it isn't like I take it for granted. I almost have tears in my eyes.
Oh, I know.
I'm very grateful that I'm given this. It's an honor. It is an honor that people trust me to do whatever this is that I do. One of my clients calls me her life strategist.
Let me interrupt you for a second here because you're pushing all the right buttons, and I love the way you're expressing what you do. I've asked lots of people the question that I ask you, and to date, you're the first one who's come back with an answer that resonates at the core of my being. Regardless to the underlying sub reasons that people come to you, I know for me, it was for love. You can take that and stretch it out every way that you want to. But underneath, it was first off the love for self, to understand how to get to know and love yourself, because something was amiss there and you knew it. So when you say love, that speaks to so many possibilities. Then it branches off into other sub areas, but the initial core reason would be love. And then that goes to something that you sent me. You said that self-love and the ego and how that can be kind of not a good match sometimes. Ego is a word that very few of us really like. So can you speak to that a little bit before you go on to the other train of thought that you had?
Sure. Well, we all have some kind of ego. And, someone pointed out that rearrange the letters and it's God.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I once literally looked to get rid of ego. Let me tell you, it's like, I feel while we're on third dimension, and we still are, even as we're morphing into fourth and fifth.
Yes.
We need to have a healthy ego, but if that's all we have, we're missing the whole boat, because that's not what we are. The ego is an aspect that we have on the third dimension to keep this physical thing safe. Okay? Even if it gets all screwed up. We are essences of light. We are essences of love. We are piece of whatever you want to call the all in all that creates and makes and whatever it's all. Everybody's got a name. And it doesn't have to be religious at all. Okay? That's what we are. The very whatever it is that creates the sun, the stars, the moon, the ocean, we are that.
That's why I wanted you to speak to that when you said love, because a lot of people, they mix up love and the mind and the brain. And but what really rules us here on this planet is the heart. The heart. Hopefully, once you get it together, it's connected up here to the brain And that's how you compute and relate and connect. But it is really the heart that rules. And so the ego, when it's not, some people don't like the word, but it has to be healthy. Healthy means that you don't have it. You don't need it. It's not
It doesn't rule you.
Yeah.
If ego rules someone, I call it dysfunctional ego, and I'm not going to name names. Don't ask me to.
Very much so.
People can't see it. I don't need to tell them, not here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If somebody is ruled by dysfunctional ego, greed, insecurity, and people have little people, and that's what rules them, they are never going to be happy, and they are never going to be satisfied because they haven't touched their essence. And I can use the word essence, I can use the word soul, people can say authentic self, there's a lot of words. People can say, I say I'm cosmic because I'm beyond any of the religions, including the one I'm born into, which doesn't mean I don't learn from each and every one and have respect and love for the stuff in all of them that I love, because I do.
Yeah.
I do. And we can all honor the goddess, God, source, Allah, great spirit, Wakantanka, whatever your words are, for the all and all that is, and all the many ways is fabulous.
Yeah.
So when we do that, and when we touch that, we know each other. Anywhere. We can sense and feel each other anywhere. I got off a plane some years ago. I was going to Africa to take care of something. And a friend of mine there, who I got to see later in the day when I got off the plane, said her friend took one look at me. Mind you, I had flown in from New York. I was tired.
That was a long flight.
Excited. She said he took one look at me and said, that's a spiritual woman. How did he know? How did he? I didn't have a sign that went spiritual woman. I was just getting off a plane. But them that have the attunement, and we can all know it.
Well, you're in a different terrain, a different territory. If you were in Africa, listen, my friend, the time just flies here. I have to extend this beyond the 30 minutes, but I don't want to go over that time for a lot of different reasons. Tell us a little bit about how people. I'm putting up your website and your email and your name, so people will get to that, and the majority of people will come for the replay. But tell us how else they can connect to you, and tell us what you're doing. And what you are hoping that many of them will participate and get to know you more so over the next few days or so. So share with us a little bit about your project and what you're about. Just tell us enough about it that we're excited that we want to connect with you.
All right. So I really came to understand, but I've had thousands of clients at this point globally. So it was obvious to me that if we didn't love ourselves, there was nowhere else to go.
Right.
Someone asked me, what's the baseline? And that's it. Mm-hmm. So I created my first online course.
Wonderful.
I'm proud of it. Called Morph into the Magic of Self-Love, capital S, little s, ELF, which stands for capital S, soul essence self, little s, ego personality self. It is a 6-week online course that has a super special price. It comes with a guarantee that if you do the course as it's meant to be done, which means at minimum, listening to the 30-minute audio that you will get every day, you'll get also other stuff, and doing what it says when you listen. And I literally guarantee, if you do that, you're going to shift and change. I teach breathing attunements, I teach meditation, I teach affirmations, I teach gratitude, I teach transformational techniques. I literally teach it. I show it to you on video.
I love this. I love this. So this is for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And then what we're going to do is you're going to text me and send me the link, which you didn't do prior.
Yes, I did. You didn't get it?
Well, I guess I didn't. Maybe it's here somewhere.
Should I say it now?
What you can say, no, all I want to do is put the link up of how to get to you for the class. For the
it's Audrey now, AudreyNow.com/morph, MORPH, closing slash.
Okay.
Audrey now, I spell it AudreyNow.com/morph.
If you sent it to me, I overlooked it. My apologies. But what I will do is put that in this broadcast so the people who come later, especially for the replay, will be able to see it and to touch base with you. Your name, your email, and your website has been flowing across constantly. So when they come, they can get that. And then that if they listen to this, they're going to hear your offering of the 6-week course and what it offers you and the guarantee that they can profit from it in the best way.
Will.
So that in turn is enough, but just in case we'll get through. Is there anything, my love, that I didn't ask you, that I didn't speak to you about, that you want to leave us with other than your 6-week course? Is there anything else to say so long for now? And I'm going to put you to the side, not right now, and I want you to stay in the green room until I come over and say goodbye to you. But in the meantime, if there's anything at all that you want to speak to for just a few seconds, feel free to now.
I want to give everybody a gift. My free gift is the protective prayer. You can get it on my website, and I use this a lot. It's like if you have a person has a whole lot of junk in the internal dialogue, or blah, 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 that stuff, and you want to clear it out, you use that so you can get the words out to the wall, not to somebody else. And so you're clearing it, and you've already told the universe, no matter what it looks like, sounds like, or feels like, it's to go into the universe's light and love. There's more to the protective prayer. Anybody I may mention in any way, shape, or form is to be protected in light and love. Any spaces, vibrations made available within me as a result of this is to be filled with light and love. I do this for my highest good, the highest good of all of us, the highest good of the universe, with free will and free choice for all concerned. This or something better, may it happen. You can get this on my website. Free.
I just am overwhelmed. That is the best ending ever. And I love the name, A Protective Prayer. And that is going to be like a PDF that's offered to everybody on your website. And I'll your website is up here anyway. Audrey, we have to do this again and again and again because you and I.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
We could go on and on and on. And I know we're soul sisters now after our beginning to get on. I'm going to ask you just to stay to the side for a moment or two. I'm going to say so long to the audience, and then I'm going to come and say so long to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay there. Okay. One of the things that we're going to do now, my friend, is we're going to talk about how wonderful it is to have a broad, open mind. No matter what your calling is in life, your purpose is to stay open and to listen, to really listen to what other people are offering and what they want to share with you that will benefit you. And never, ever to knock anyone else's way of thinking and doing. And for many in the cosmic healing arena, the circle there's a lot of negativity attached. As sometimes it might be with religion, but stay open. That is all that we ask, that you stay open. I want to leave you with this one thing. I leave you with this every night. If you are promoting a product or a service, as Audrey is, as all of us are in one way or another, there's something called bank I want you to look into, and I want you to type in the word key, K-E-Y, in the comments. And what you'll be set, by the way, there are zillions of personality assessments. This one is phenomenal. I've looked into most all of them, as I'm sure many of you have. And what I want you to do is type in key, K-E-Y, in the comments, because this methodology that's called bank, it has proven itself to be extremely valuable to people who are promoting a product or service. In fact, they say that 82% success with this product as opposed to others. The 67% of professionals, people who regularly miss their quotas because they don't know how to connect and relate to people. This is not about how you communicate, even though it's going to give you this when you take the assessment. It's for you to understand and to know how other people communicate so that you can communicate with them on their level. And what's exciting about this for me, not that I'm impressed by the size, the humongous size of Google, but Google has adopted this as their methodology and a part of their training regime for their employees. So that should tell you a lot right there. Yes, Google is going through its transformation, its transitions here, there, and yonder. Aren't we all from time to time in one way? It doesn't take away from our greatness. So what I want you to do is type in the word key and get your assessment and then decide whether or not you want to take it further. And more than that, get back to me with your comments, what you thought about it. Cosmic healers, we love them, we adore them, they adore us because they understand and they get us sometimes more than we get ourselves. My heart goes out all the time because I understand the cosmic healers. I spent a lot of time with them because I had a lot of issues myself to work through. And Audrey is a person that if you're not familiar with her and her work, please take a look here at her name, her website, and her email address and touch base with her. The 6-week course, and she's giving you a guarantee, you will not regret it. I only bring you people that I know in my heart will benefit you in one way or another. So may I say, until the next time, it's always good to be with you. I love it when I look at, hi, Flora. Teresa, hello, hello, hello. I love it when I look out and see you because I know how busy we all are. We are all inundated and over the everything with what we're doing. And yet we love to connect and build relationships. That's what we're all about. So when I look out and see you, if you're here for 5 minutes, 5 seconds, it doesn't matter. It warms my heart and it's good to see you. And whatever you're doing and whatever you're about, be well. Take care of you first. Do the very best that you can, because only then are you going to be able to look after and service other people who need your gifts and your talents. Have a great week, a great weekend, and until we connect the next time, next Tuesday night, same time, same station, I bid you adieu and all the best. So long for now. Cheers.